I was at Eastern Michigan 98, 99. So I actually was in the league for 2 years. And then I'm Midwest from Chicago. And so I followed MAC for, like I said, I can't remember the last time I didn't know it. At least a coach on every staff in the MAC. I mean, like a friend of mine that's been for probably 10, 15 years. So I follow it close because I've always known whether I was in the MAC or not. Just that it's a very unique league from competitiveness. A lot of different MAC champions over the last 20 years, which, you know, you think of Big Ten, you think Michigan, Ohio State, and every so often somebody else gets in there, right? You know, and some of the teams never get in there, you know, and that's kind of standard with these conferences, you know, that there's certain teams that where the MAC, it seems to be a lot of opportunities for success for, you know, a lot of different, just on our side alone, I think, I don't know how many different years have we had different West champions. That's not normal in college football conference. And two is, as I said yesterday, to me, it's like everything right about college student athlete. Like, our kids are playing Division I football. That's the highest level of football. Okay, is there better conference than MAC? Okay, yeah, there is, but it's still Division I football. But we don't get caught up in the money. We don't. To me, not having all the bells and whistles all the time is a blessing for these kids, you know, because sometimes decisions are made based on money that not always are in the best interest of student athletes, because it is hundreds of millions of dollars, and coaches' jobs are on the line every day. It used to be your job was on the line every 5 years. Now guys are getting hired and fired. They lose tomorrow and the wrong alums don't like it. They're done. They're bought out. See you later. So you get very clouded, and it's not the purest sense of trying to help student athletes, where the MAC still is. We don't have, not that coaches still don't get fired in the MAC, and we're not under scrutiny. We certainly are. But it's not knee-jerk reaction of $100 million being made every year, you know, like the last job I was at. So you can still have a clear mind when it comes to making great decisions about what's in the best interest of the kids. And these kids are getting degrees from great universities in real majors, not in majors to keep them eligible so that we can make money, but actually in majors that they can make money and a lot of MAC players are going to play in the NFL. Now, is there as many MAC as SEC? No, but you don't have to say, well, if I go to the MAC, I'm not going to play. Last 2 years, we're 1-5 in the draft, and there's tons of players. You know, we got a pretty good one on Miami named Ben Roethlisberger. He's not regretting going to Miami. You know, it worked out pretty good for him as he's on his way to the Hall of Fame. So for me, you get the best of both worlds, and that's how this league has been for a long time, and that's why it's pretty cool to be a part of. Yeah, I don't know. Even when I was a young coach, like, it was always known as a coach's league. Like, people say that, well, MAC's a coach's league, and I get, you know, back when I was young, I was like Coach Blackney at Bowling Green and Coach Walker at Miami. You know, I never asked why they called it coach. Like, there must be a bunch of good, you know, Nick Saban was at Toledo, you know what I mean? I guess probably just because since Bo, Woody era rolled through Miami, and then apparently it wasn't just that Miami, you know, they were pretty good, you know, and it showed even back in the late 40s, early 50s with those three that a good coach is a good coach. You know, and then they went to Northwestern, Notre Dame, or went to Michigan, went to Ohio State. And so I think that just, and it's gone on and on. Miami's not the only place that have had, you know, Coach Mallory. You know, we got crazy amount. Walker, Hepner, I mean, they just kept winning. So I just think coaches, history's history. Coaches have left the MAC and kept winning. So therefore, the MAC's been known as a great league to coach. And people are always looking for coaches out of this league, because when you take a coach from a MAC school, typically they, you know, Urban Meyer goes to Utah, and guess what? Utah's pretty good all of a sudden, you know. So it's been the nature of the league, and it attracts good coaches to the league because they want to have those opportunities, but also it's great for the league for national recognition. I think anytime you take over a program because a coach has left because they haven't won, you got morale issues, you got belief issues, you got confidence issues. Then you have all the normal things that transition, new schemes, new coaches, new personalities, new way of doing business. Doesn't make it better or worse, just makes it different. And kids have to adjust, and it's hard to get through that acclimatization period of, okay, what's this new head coach? What's my new position coach like? What's my new coordinator like? Oh, we're doing different things in the weight room now, you know. You know, the schedule's different. So just kids getting used to a completely new way of life. You know, and then for us, it's obviously we didn't win any games a year ago, and looking where we need more talent at certain positions. Then you got the recruiting, you know. How are we going to sell? You want to come play for a team that didn't win a game, you know? It's not the first thing you want to talk about, but it's the way it is. It's reality. So you got to work through those things in recruiting and sell like this is where we're going, and you're going to want to be a part of it. Yeah, just I know it's huge, and I know it's important, and I know, like any great rivalry, it's a fun rivalry, it's a competitive rivalry, and even though we don't like each other per se, the fans don't like each other, there's a lot of respect of the rivalry, you know, even though Miami fans hate OU and OU fans hate Miami. It's pretty cool to have that type of deal, you know. And we have a huge one with Cincinnati too, obviously, for longest one. But within the MAC, us and Miami, you know. And I think I don't know as much about Miami, but they seem like schools, like beliefs and stuff. So there's more to it than just on the sports field. So I know it's awfully important to our fans. I know it's awfully important to their fans. I've been a part of rivalries before, and those are the funnest games of the year. It's pretty cool, and people get pretty excited whether you're home or away, and it means a lot. And, you know, there's family bragging rights, you know. Dad went to Miami, sons went to OU, or boyfriend went to Miami, wife went to OU. You know what I mean? And it means a lot for the next 364 days. So those things have a little more vested interest.